Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And today I'm jumping into an Arena Direct sealed Winabox event. If I get 6 wins before my second loss, then I get a box of Lorwyn booster packs mailed to my house. And if I get 7 wins, I actually get 2 booster boxes mailed to my house. Even though I have won boxes in a bunch of these Arena Directs for a bunch of different sets, unfortunately, Lorwyn has eluded me. And I've done pretty well in lorwynsealed in other contexts. So I'm really hoping that with this buy-in, which I think will be my last buy-in, I am going to finally convert one of these entries into at least one box of Lorwyn booster packs. So let's hope I open something sweet. My top cards are probably, honestly, Figure of Fable is the one that I'm always hoping to open because it's so incredibly flexible, but we see instead Selfless Safe Right, a Temple Guardian which can help with mana fixing. Vibrance is, something. A few, frankly, not very well used rare slots in Kirill and the 2 dual lands, but Taster of Wares is absolutely a bomb. And then we have Disruptive Currents, which is a very good card. So there's some power in here, but it's not all about the rares. And our rares are not, sticking out as incredibly powerful ones to me. But looking at the white cards first, it does seem that I have a good creature density and the opportunity for a pretty good curve. I have a Meander's Guide, Gallant Foul Knight, Clutch Festival, and then the double Thought Weft Imbuer is nothing to sneeze at. That's a very powerful card if you can have the Kithkins to turn it on. In blue, which I think is a color that has happened to be better in sealed than it. I mean, it's very good in draft, but in sealed, it seems to stick out as a particularly good color in Lorwyn. I have to say it's looking a little bit lacking, although Disruptive Currents is a good one. In black, the triple anti-sentence is a bit of a waste, but triple removal spells for 2 mana on Bogsova's Embrace double nameless inversion. And honestly, anti-sentence is also a 2 mana removal spell, so I'm full of 2 mana removal if I want it. And then we have Taster of Wares, double Blighted Blackthorn, which is not very good, and a Shimmer Creep. In red, really a lot of blanks here. I mean, Elder Ante in any other set would have been pretty good, but it's just not an archetype that is very winning in this format. See, double Burning Curiosity. I'm a big believer, I've recently become a big believer in lorwynsealed, that what you want to do is play stats to the board. And that is one of the most important things that you can do. It also seems to be a format that has a huge tolerance for just splashing around and doing all sorts of multicolor shenanigans. Looking at Bristlebane Outrider plus Safe Right Cavalry plus Crossroads Watcher, the Great Forest Druid, double Wildvine Pummeler, I'm thinking that my green is looking like one of my better color options, plus the Selfless Safe Right, which could be good, could be bad. Changeling Wayfinder and Evolving Wilds is a nice pairing because it means that I can get a little bit splashy with it in addition to my Temple Garden and my Hallowed Fountain. I'm very inclined to play cards like Glister Baron. I think whereas this suffers in draft from the speed and synergy of the format, I do think that in sealed it is quite a lot better. I had a great result at my local pre-release going 4-0. I mean, I know that's a while ago now, but I did have a great result at my local pre-release with the vivid Glister Baron kind of stuff. And if I pair together my Wildvine Pummeler, Glister Baron, and my splashing and some hybrid mana symbols, it's very possible that I'll end up with something good. So here is roughly what the pool looks like. I am going to take a moment to just think about which directions I want to go in, and then I'll put together whatever deck looks most promising to me from there. Okay, so I've been looking through like green, white, and teamery space. The thing is, there are 3 cards that I really want to play if possible, but they're not all going to go in the same deck. There's Taster of Wares, Disruptive Currents, and Vibrance. What I'm most interested in with this pool, which is like very split across colors, a little bit light on bombs, and just doesn't have that much raw card power, I would say, is I really want to have just a creature dense, threat dense deck that's very likely to just curve out and put it to the opponent. Do you have an answer for what I'm doing here? So to that end, I'm looking at maybe trying to play a bunch of these like Prideful Feastlings, Mischievous Inkling, Chaos Spewer, that kind of thing. Kind of feels like maybe pulling me into sort of Grixis-y space. But at the same time, I also really like the idea of the Bristlebane Outrider, Safe Right Cavalry. Certainly I'll be playing the Rooftop Percher, and Wildvine Pummeler is going to go in any deck that's a little bit splashy. I don't think the green-red direction is too promising. I mean, it would kind of be a Vibrance build around, and you really don't want to just build around one card in sealed. So, and also the curve on this deck is looking really bad. There's no particular support for the Elder Ante. It's not this. Whatever it is, it's not this. So I'm thinking about maybe if there's something almost centered in like black white. Maybe there's like a black white something in the Esper space, but I really want to play the Wildvine Pummeler. Clearly I have a little bit more thinking to do. It could be, here's what I think it might be. Simic splashing white for Thoughtweft Imbuer and splashing black for the removal. That sounds really weird and clunky, but bear with me. I think there might be something there. So in trying to put together this build, I realized I actually have 4 2-drops split across white and blue. Mischievous Sneakling counts as a blue 2-drop or a black 2-drop. And then I do have 2 good 2-drops in green. So I think pairing green with either white or green with blue as the base makes sense. And then splashing for something else. One thing is I do want to be able to play the Prideful Feastlings on turn 3, which makes me think, and by the way, the Prideful Feastlings go together with Thoughtweft Imbuer. So that makes me think that I actually want to splash it with, pair green with white. And that has the advantage that, by the way, Wanderbrine Preacher, unless you have a bunch of the Merfolk tap synergies, it's just going to be a lot better than the Gravelgill Scoundrel. So let's try a kind of green-white base with a little bit of splashing. So this is about where I'm at with green-white. I would be splashing black and splashing blue. Ignore the mana, I'll fix that up. The downside is I definitely cannot play Disruptor of Currents unless something changes in the mana, because it does have Convoke, but you would need green creatures to convoke it out. Blue creatures, sorry. So, and probably I can't play this much black. So I'm thinking I at least want to look at the Simic build, but this is, this minus Disruptor. Maybe I can't play this much black and I have to replace it with some filler, but this is something like what green-white would look like. I do think Thoughtweft Imbuer is pretty well supported. I actually have a bunch of Kithkins here. Taster of Wares is a nice one to get to play on the splash if I can hack it. And it does look like it will curve out, and it has ways of winning. It's just going to keep putting stats on the board. So I actually kind of like it. I definitely think I want to play this core of green with the Thoughtweft Imbuer, but I'm wondering if there's a way to go blue-green and get some of these advantages and maybe still splash for Thoughtweft Imbuer. So let's see if we can make that work. But currently, I'd say this is my most likely build. Sorry, just realized I was off video there. That was not intentional. Going back on video now. Simic splashing white might look a little something like this. Honestly, the white splash is so easy. I might even go down one and try to sneak a Taster of Wares in here. Feels like the mana base can probably support this, and it makes my Glister Baron and Wildvine Pummelers a little bit better. I don't know exactly what I think about this. I mean, I do have a lot of opportunity to splash. I don't really have that many vivid payoffs. I do think Aquatex defenses, has been overperforming a little bit, and then I'm playing a little bit of removal like Blossombind and Swataway, but not much. I don't get access to the black removal package that I have. Selfless Safe Right's looking pretty mediocre, although I guess I do have a good number of Kithkins, but the Thoughtweft Imbuers are much less well supported without the Prideful Feastlings. So I kind of want to go back and look at a more white-based, like maybe just pure green-white, or maybe I'll look at something totally out of left field. Let's see, but I really don't think I've found the build yet. This is an interesting pool. I think it has a lot of potential, but I don't think I've cracked the code quite yet. This is maybe what a green-white beatdown deck looks like. Still not convinced. Still going to keep looking. It just doesn't look like it is going to be fast and consistent enough, particularly with not that many 1 and 2 drops. So after jettisoning green, because, green gives me vibrance, but actually the rest of my green card quality is not that high. I guess I like Dundulin Weaver, vibrance, and that's kind of it. Selva Safe Right can be good, but it really needs support. And Glister Baron is, I have a theory that it could be good in sealed, but it also really needs support. It needs to probably specifically be in Simic. I thought maybe there's something in blue-white, like blue-white with a black splash to let me play the Taster of Wares. The black splash is a little suspicious, but with Hallowed Fountain, plus I have an Evolving Wilds, plus I have Changeling Wayfinder. If I am just going for 1 black pip, that's not that bad. So then it actually lets me play Taster of Wares and Disruptor of Currents, have a pretty good curve. The Thoughtweft Imbuers are not awesome, but they're not horribly supported. I have like 7, I think. If you count the Klatchin Festival, I have like, let's say like 8+ kind of Kithkins. And then, yeah, I get to play my 2 bombs. I get some flying, which is actually really good in this set. I get to play the Eclipse Marrow and the Wanderbrine Trapper, which are really, really good uncommons. So I think on the whole, this might be where I am landing. I may not play Aquatex defenses because I think its main purpose is bomb protection. But I think, you know, Gravelgill Scoundrel plus Pestered Wellguard, this kind of thing, yeah, it can win games. It can win games. I'll put it that way. And it looks like I'm actually on 18 lands, so probably the deck just looks like this. What are we leaving in the sideboard if we do this? We do have a few more Kithkins if we want to get our Kithkin count up, but I think I want to try it out like this at least once. It's possible I'm supposed to play SWAT away. I'll think about that one. We're leaving some okay red cards like Tweez. Really, our red is just not very impressive. We're leaving behind some of the green stats. Like we're not doing the stats, all stats game plan, but I'm not crying about that one. I don't think I'm supposed to put Kirill in here, although, hey, I could copy some pretty good triggers. Copy Disruptor Ferns, copy Thoughtweft Imbuer, copy Pestered Wellguard, Shorelurker. Oh, I have a lot, actually. Yeah, okay, and I like tapping things. Okay, maybe I do actually play Kirill. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm not feeling too sad. I mean, leaving out Vibrance is a little bit sad, but other than that, I'm not really feeling too sad about anything. I guess I could play Glister Baron as one more finisher and add in a Temple Garden instead of a Plains. Yeah, actually, maybe that's worth considering too. I'll think about those two. And Kirill goes with Glister Baron, by the way. Basically, with a pool like this, I do feel that I have to get a little bit lucky. So maybe I cut the Unexpected Assistance and Riverguard's Reflexes because this is less of a combat-centric deck. And I'm just playing to the board and just trying to, you know, fit as many good cards into my deck as possible. And I'm just playing like almost all creatures. The number of triggered abilities is amazing. Almost every card in my deck has a triggered ability. Isn't that ridiculous? Almost every card in my deck is a Kirill target. I mean like 80% plus of my creatures. Literally every creature that's more expensive than Kirill. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think Kirill's probably, it's more like a 4-drop because of the double pip. But yeah, I mean, I definitely need to get lucky. So basically the idea is give myself opportunities to get lucky. If the games just play out as normal games of Magic, I don't think my pool really stands a good chance. So let's just hope that, you know, let's just put cards in our deck that let us have a hope, basically. Let us give something that we're aiming for. If you do want to get better at Magic along with me, every time there's an Arena Direct, I post a bunch of videos. I also post a draft every single day. I try to talk through my decisions really clearly, and I don't just show you the things that went great. I also show you my runs that don't go so hot. Right? And my idea with that is the point of this channel is all for us to get better at Magic together. And if all that you see is the things that are like, you know, shiniest pool possible, playing out exactly as you would hope, you're going to have trouble comparing it to your situation when you open a not very good pool and seeing what to do to give that the best angle possible. Even if it's not enough to win a box, maybe we can recover our gems with a pool like this, right? So if that does sound appealing to you, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. Okay, so we have a turn. I mean, you know, this is kind of doing what I wanted it to do. We have a turn 1 Wanderbrine Trapper. Turn 2, maybe just play a tapped Temple Garden. Turn 3, I'm going to play the Prideful Feastling. And then turn 4, I have a Thoughtweft Imbuer, which is giving something +2. And I've hopefully been beating down with Wanderbrine Trapper by then. Although the opponent is on the play, so maybe not. Changeling Wayfinder. What do I find for Changeling Wayfinder if I don't have anything in my hand already that I'm looking to cast? So now I get to play my Gravelgill Scoundrel. That's really nice. And I'll probably just play Temple Garden untapped and play Prideful Feastling after that. Let's see. Double white is important in my deck, but I have the double white now. Oh, that's kind of sweet. Yeah, let's play Eclipse Marrow. You're a 2/3. A little awkward against the Brute, but actually maybe I do just play the Prideful Feastling. No, I really want to hit my next land drop. And it's better to do that with the Marrow than with Changeling Wayfinder. Oh, brutal. I guess I'll get Shorelurker. It goes pretty sweet with Thoughtweft Imbuer. Well, hey, I'm glad I didn't spend 4 turns drawing nothing, drawing no lands. Do I attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel? Totally. I'll attack with that, and I'll tap my Wanderbrine Trapper. Just to get a little bit of damage in. I assume the opponent is on a beatdown plan. But if they spend 2 mana, making my Eclipse Marrow unable to block and growing their Brambleback Brute, that's 2 less mana that they have to play a scary threat against me. Now, worst case scenario. Ooh, that's a scary threat against me for sure. I do have a lot of toughness. But yeah, I don't love that. I do not love that. I don't really have a lot of removal in my deck either. But hey, Thought-Weft Imbuer is a lot of toughness, for example. So they exiled a Rooftop Percher. That's very interesting. So Thought-Weft Imbuer looking so bad, by the way. I kind of want to play it just to have a lot of stuff to blight onto. Is that so wrong? I kind of want to just play Thought-Weft Imbuer. So Thought-Weft Imbuer, by the way, goes amazingly with Gravelgill Scoundrel. I didn't really think about that. But the idea of like getting extra power on my unblockable creature is pretty appealing to me. And it just makes their blighting a lot worse, doesn't it? And I'm not too afraid of them attacking me with everything because Wanderbrine Trapper is going to get to start tapping things down soon. So I'm not feeling too terrified here, but I don't know, maybe I should be. I'm kind of liking my deck, actually. I'm kind of liking how my deck is playing out here. I'll take the 8. I'm not afraid of you. Maybe I should be, but okay, Moonshadow is fine. Now are they going to blight a bunch? I probably wouldn't if I were them. Because Thought-Weft Imbuer is just so chunky. So the reason I took a bunch of damage is I get to start tapping their stuff down next turn. Oh, Disruptor of Currents is an amazing one, isn't it? Okay, so yeah. I have to do that like during their combat step though. Because otherwise... Okay, I have to think really hard here actually. Oh, this is a tough one. So if I Disruptor of Currents like during their turn, yeah, they can't respond by blighting because they can only do this as a sorcery. It's not during your turn. It's as a sorcery. I really want to get in a Gravelgill Scoundrel attack here. And then I'm definitely going to want to bounce their Champion of the Weird. What I can do is play Changeling Wayfinder. Pretty sure... Do I want to play... Yeah, pretty sure I want to do that. So if I play the Changeling Wayfinder, I can attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel, and I don't have to tap anything, right? That leaves me with 5 untapped. So I can play Disruptor of Currents 1, 2, 3, 4, have 1 mana up, and then also tap something with Wanderbrine Trapper. I think that sounds really good. I do have some extra blue stuff, like to play Glister Baron, I would want a blue. I could play Kirill, yeah, so that's probably it. So let's get an island. Whoa, this is interesting magic, isn't it, my friends? Okay, next, so now that I have that extra from Changeling Wayfinder, yeah, I need to attack with the Vigilance creature, because I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to play Disruptor of Currents, then tap Wanderbrine Trapper and the Disruptor to tap something. That's the game plan. All right, so this has to attack alone. It gets +2, and I will not tap anything. Yep. And end. Now, the only thing about this plan is it does mean that I have to play Disruptor before attacks. Because otherwise, if I tap the Trapper and something else, I no longer have 5 up to play Disruptor of Currents. This card's so nutty. This card is so nutty. Dream Caesar. That can resolve. Yep. What do I even discard? Probably Prideful Feastling, to be honest. I like my flyers. Yeah, probably pitch the Prideful Feastling. So next turn, I'm going to bounce the champion, tap Brambleback Brute. Then I can tap Dream Caesar. Yeah, but I don't have that much power because Thought-Weft Imbuer requires something to attack alone. I actually like my deck way more than I expected to when I saw that I had to play blue-white. Okay, so now I'm going to, and I have to get this right, tap, 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 and yeah, okay, and then tap here. I'm going to bounce Champion of the Weird. Disruptive Currents is so nasty. It's so good. That resolves. Then Wanderbrine Trapper is going to tap down. Do I even care about tapping down the Brute, actually? Now that I think about it, I did all of that, and then I realized maybe I don't care about that, but it's okay. I wanted to play Disruptive Currents anyways. Do I tap Brambleback Brute? It can't attack. It cannot attack me. So do I care about it? Yeah, maybe I'm just getting in a big attack next turn. So let's do it. You can attack me for 1 if you want to. They're probably not blocking with Moonshadow, so if I'm them, I'm probably attacking. I don't know, but my attack is like big next turn, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty big. Oh, that's a nice one, actually. So do I just play this, tap the Scoundrel, and attack for 5? That sounds pretty good. Play this, tap Wellguard to the Scoundrel to make a 1/1. Hold up Wanderbrine Trapper. Okay, so maybe I'm actually going to tap the Wellguard with Wanderbrine Trapper during their turn, and I'll attack for 5. Yeah, that's the line, I think. In for 5. By the way, I hate the design of Thought Left Imbuer and Team Avatar in the last format. These cards that incentivize attacking alone. Any other situation, I would be incentivized to attack with everything. But the fact that they have printed these, like, if you attack with one creature, it's better for you cards makes the games go so much more slowly, but that's okay. Here, I would be afraid of Soul Immolation, the 5-mana one-sided board wipe, except they would need to play a 5 toughness creature for that to be bad against me. If they did it for 3, okay, it wouldn't be lovely. Actually, it would be really bad. All that I would get is a Thought Left Imbuer. Okay, hopefully this isn't a Soul Immolation. Yeah, I just realized it would kill almost all of my stuff. Okay, so hopefully this is not Soul Immolation. Grub's Command is almost as bad, right? Okay, well, it's actually fine. So they mill 5 cards, then put all the goblins that they get from that into their hand. Wow. Well, it's mostly just a kill spell because we're in a very tight situation. Yeah, they did not get any goblins. We're in a very tight situation here, right? I let them pass to attacks because if they want to attack, that's like fine by me. I would consider that a little eccentric because I pretty much have a lethal crackback. You actually need a blocker, right? Because I can tap a creature. So here I'll tap Dream Caesar and I'll tap it with my Wellguard so I can at least get in 1 damage and flying. And then suppose I attack with everything. You block a 3-power and block a 3-power, taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just gonna double count again. You have no lifelink, so block a 3-power creature, block a 3-power creature. You take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks lethal to me. Certainly looks lethal to me. No need. All right, looks lethal. Yeah, I kind of like my deck. It has a lot of options. It has a lot going on. The mana felt totally smooth this game, at least. I don't think there's any 0 mana threat that they can do here. If anything, I felt kind of choked on lands, but I think that's good in this context. It just means that we were getting a lot of action. Still lethal, right? Okay. Just means we were getting tons of action. My opponent also didn't have enough mana to play everything. And yet Disruptive Currents is just so good. It is just so good. And I think Taster of Words is totally sweet with the changelings. The only question is, do I want to cut Glister Baron? Maybe I cut Glister Baron for like an Aquatex defenses. I think that might actually be a good idea. The Glister Baron feels like a little bit too much. Like I'm winning on these like early game synergies probably. So I might rather have, let's say, Riverguard's Reflexes, maybe even Sundappled Celebrant because of all my tap synergies. Let's go with something like that. Just make the deck one step smoother because it did feel like a lot of stuff was getting stuck in my hand. I decided maybe a Swat Away. You know, it's like technically probably better than Glister Baron. Is it even though? Nah, I want my Glister Baron. I'm gonna get greedy with it. I just want my Glister Baron. No one can tell me otherwise. Give me that Glister Baron. You know what? Probably we just had a good amount of action left in our hand. So gotta cut a plains there. The Hallowed Fountain did like no real damage to me. Yeah, I just want my Glister Baron. Like, look, I don't even have that many 5-drop creatures. I think I just happen to draw a lot from the top end of my curve. So I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. Plus, I'm playing a Changeling Wayfinder, which, you know, bumps you up. Like, it makes it harder for you to get choked on lands. So yeah, I'm going to play this Glister Baron. Who knows if it's what I'm technically supposed to do, but it's what I feel in my heart I should do. And at some point in these games, you do also just need to go on your deep mind intuition, aka vibes. Speaking of vibes, this is not okay. Actually, you know what? I'm in my heart, I am a grindy control player, and I like the looks of hands like this, to be honest. Disruptive Currents cannot technically be cast right now, but if my Changeling Wayfinder finds me a blue, it can be cast. And Thoughtweft Imbuer and Changeling Wayfinder do work together. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not a statsy play to the board hand, and this is supposed to be a pretty statsy play to the board deck. But you have to trust your deck. Maybe we'll draw, I was going to say maybe we'll draw a 2-drop. We didn't. But okay, we can Evolving Wilds, fetching a blue. And I'm just going to do that right now. I don't really care if the opponent knows that I'm on blue. Just going to quickly check. Yeah, then I could play my Glister Baron after that. Yeah, okay. And then I'll play a Changeling Wayfinder, and we're never going to hurt for mana again. I mean, you know, in my control Heart of Hearts, I love hands where I know I'm just going to be able to play whatever I draw. Iron Shield Elf is kind of interesting against Disruptor of Currents. Like, think about it. Okay, I'm actually just going to play Prideful Feastling now for sure. Then Thoughtweft Imbuer is getting really good. Think about it. You block, they discard to make it indestructible, then you flash in a Disruptor of Currents, bouncing it, and they've already discarded a card? Yeah. Heck yeah. I love Disruptive Currents. I had one at the Limited Championship Qualifier tournament in Toronto. Oh, that's pretty ugly for me. I don't like that they got to do that. Maybe I should have played Changeling Wayfinder, but they just wouldn't have spent it if I had. 2 Thoughtweft Imbuers. Thoughtweft Imbuer is not amazing in my deck. But think about it. If you have 2 Thoughtweft Imbuers, they can both attack. That's pretty sweet, right? That's pretty sweet. They can, sorry, one of them can attack and they both pump that one. So it attacks as a 4/9. They do work well together. I love the like bonsai land. That's totally awesome. Opponent has good taste in lands for sure. Oh, they've like curated a bit of a collection here. That's sweet. Iron Shield Elf. Okay, if they attack me, they're representing that they have something, and then I want to consider playing Changeling Wayfinder to do my like little currents play. Okay. They're not acting like they have something. So now I think I do just play Thoughtweft Imbuer and attack with a 4/9. They don't have counter mana. So I play Thoughtweft Imbuer, attack, it gets +2 and then +2. So it's a 4/9, correct? These guys do go really nicely together, don't they? Yeah, so if I attack, it attacks alone. It gets +2/+2 and then +2/+2. So it's a 4/9. They did not seem to have a pump spell last turn, right? Or else they would have attacked. So I don't think they have like double block and then +3. Even if they have that, they would have to double block +3 and then discard 2 cards to save their guys, emptying their hand. So, all right, pitching a swamp. So we got value already. Now, they probably can crack back pretty nastily against me. However, the Thoughtweft Imbuers are attacking as 6/11s next turn. No, both give +3/+3. Yeah. So 6/11s. So next turn I can go 1, 2, 3, play a Changeling Wayfinder. So 1, 2, 3, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Disruptive Currents up. So I'll take the 6. I mean, this is probably a bluff unless I just top decked a pump spell. Oh my goodness, that is unreal. So I'm going to go, yeah, we can tap that blue. I'm going to play a Clatchin Festival. That is unreal. That is unreal. Well, hopefully they don't have a removal spell for Thoughtweft Imbuer here, because this is about to get not okay. I could play the Changeling Wayfinder, but I think I just want to have Disruptor of Currents up. So I will attack and give this +10/+10. I wonder if they have Swat Away, actually. Given how they're playing, it might be Swat Away. 10 damage. I love it. So I could play the Changeling Wayfinder and just chump an Iron Shield Elf next turn, but I think I want to have Disruptor of Currents up to see what they've got. I'm a little worried about a flyer, for example. Moonshadow is not what I'm worried about. I do wonder if they're a little choked. No, they're not choked on black. They're not choked on black. All right, I'm not going to play that right now. Meander's Guide, you can bring back a Prideful Feastling. I can also just Klatchin Festival here. So yeah, well, every attack is lethal. I wonder if I just start attacking with one of these guys rather than putting my Thoughtweft Imbuers in harm's way. Probably not. So maybe first I play Changeling Wayfinder because I'll be able to play Disruptor of Currents after that. But do I want to play the Meander's Guide? No, I don't really care. So I'll do this. Take the action. Get a Plains probably. Okay, this is awesome. I'm loving this deck. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Could easily not turn out my way. So I can still play this. Wow. It could easily not turn out my way, but this is totally sweet. So this is going to give +6/+6 to this creature, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I'll attack with a 13/13. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. So there's no board wipe in their colors. I assume they'll discard a card. No? Okay, interesting. That's looking a little suspicious to me. Maybe I do just play a Meander's Guide here. I don't know. How do I lose this game? What would make me lose this game? I'm kind of struggling to think of it. Maybe like Sunderflock? If they could get to Sunderflock. Bouncing everything except Moonshadow and dealing damage to me. So maybe having the Shapeshifter would actually be good. If I play this, I cannot play Disruptor of Currents. Maybe I should have tapped a little differently. No, there was no way to do both of those. I could have got an island, actually. With Changeling Wayfinder. I think I won't play this. It's a little hard for me to see what would do it here. Yeah, like Sunderflock would be bad news for me. What else? Don't think Gloom Ripper matters. Dundulin Weaver bringing back the elf. Yeah, I mean, they could just grind me out, I guess. That's one possibility. Okay, so maybe the whole grind out possibility is like way more likely. So maybe that does mean I should be putting on more pressure, more and more pressure. All right, no attacks. Go to my turn. Yeah, maybe that does just mean I should be putting on more pressure. All right, so in with a 13/13. Honestly, maybe better to go in with a 13/14. Just because it doesn't make a difference on blocking. I'd rather block with the 1/1 token, probably, because they're both Kithkins anyways. I wonder if they have a loop that they can establish. That would be a way that I would get into some trouble, isn't it? If they can put together some kind of a loop here. So tap and untap Merfolk requires either Disruptor of Currents or... Oh yeah, I could have played this untapped to get another Kithkin. Or having the Changeling Wayfinder untapped. Yeah, I could have played this untapped so I can make a Kithkin off of Klatchin Festival, but a Blightrot is kind of annoying. Actually, maybe I do take this opportunity to just Disruptor of Currents. Kind of want to play that card anyways. And I don't think they're going to be sneaking in an attack that I really need to negate here, so let's just bounce my Meander's Guide. I could bounce Klatchin Festival, but I think I'm getting enough value. Yeah, like Meander's Guide can allow me to loop Disruptor of Currents, which is pretty nasty. Oh, Pestered Wellguard. I like that one, yeah. I like Pestered Wellguard a lot. So let's go next. Probably let's attack with Disruptor of Currents, because again, it's not blocking. Give it +1,000,000/1,000,000. This is a sweet deck. I do wish I had Trample. I'll say that much. I do wish I had Trample. Unfortunately, as long as they have cards in their hand, they can withstand this attack. So Pestered Wellguard is nice because it allows me to put Like, it allows me to put a flyer in play, right? Okay, well, I wonder if they have another Dundulin Weaver. I actually wonder if they have Unbury. They maybe had to tap their swamp for Blight Rot. So it does make me wonder if they have Unbury. They're going to bring back Dundulin Weaver and the Iron Shield Elf and just... They kind of have a loop that is keeping them alive. The only thing is, if I get to tap the Pestered Wellguard, I get a 1/1 that's going to attack for lethal in a single turn. If they kill Pestered Wellguard, Meander's Guide can bring it back. So they kind of have to kill both. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Draw 2, discard, exile an artifact or enchantment. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I was a little worried. I forgot what Wistfulness does. I didn't think it was anything too horrifying, but you never can be sure, can you? Okay, so I can lock down something. Probably I want to save that for if they have a flyer. Honestly, I really want to tap Pestered Wellguard. I wouldn't mind tapping Meander's Guide, but I really want to tap Pestered Wellguard. So let's do that one. In with a zillion Wellguard. It's only a 13/12. Technically, they could just kill it, actually. Oh, no, but I have Meander's Guide, so I don't think I care. I have a Meander's Guide for where that came from. If they triple block, I think it's all right. All right, and then I'm going to hold this Blossom Bind for sure. Let's see. If they have something, if they have Sunderflock, I lose, right? If they have Sunderflock, I straight up lose. So, right, because they would bounce all my stuff. No, because I actually have Changeling Wayfinder. So, do I actually just lock down one of their creatures? It's such a weird, excessive move. Let's see. They would need to have Sunderflock plus a removal spell to win. What else? What else? You know, something in the back of my brain is telling me just deny your opponent counterplay. I'm asking them to really have like a board wipe that doesn't exist at this point. So now I'm kind of saying you need to have two things that don't exist. If they can get a flyer, they do survive. Emptiness. It's going to kill something. Kill my flyer, I assume. Oh no, I don't think that's what you were supposed to kill. I don't think that's what you're supposed to kill, but that's okay. It's not I don't think that it was really going to go their way. Their deck looked totally solid. I mean, it had a lot of like threats on the top end. Feels good. I mean, yeah, this 2-0, yeah, feels good. Feels like this deck could have what it takes. Yeah, I'm really, it's like playing out really smoothly. On to the next one. I mean, knock on wood, knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself here. All right, yeah, don't hate this hint. I mean, it's the same old story. These Soft Imbuers are playing out great, but fingers crossed. I just need to focus up. That is a really nice draw. So, Wanderbrine Preacher, awesome to have a 2-drop against the red deck built by a grub lover. That's not saying anything rude about that person. It's just they seem to love grub because that's their avatar. I'll offer the trade. They don't want to trade. Joke's on you because I have a 2/3 lifelinker. Just kidding. They could have any number of things here that make that not matter. If they attack, I'm certainly not blocking. There's no way I would block. All right. Oh, they whiffed on the Eclipse Flamekin, and we get a swamp, which is really nice for us. And this Rooftop Percher is looking nutty. Attacking is a 6/6 in the air. In with the Feastling for 4, and you are a lifelink. Bonk. Wow. Big game. Big swing right there. Rooftop Percher is such a solid card. In the early format, I thought it was like completely unplayable. Full disclosure, I mean, if you go back to my early videos, I think I was never picking this card, even though the art is awesome, like this little kitty cat and stuff. Encumbered Reedry, that's okay. And a Marrow Sky Swimmer, okay. Oh, now that's an interesting thing. They're kind of tapping everything down here. I actually wonder about that. Well, okay, I'll play a Rooftop Percher. I mean, they gained life by tapping their Wanderbrine Preacher, so I guess that makes sense. Going with this guy for 5. You might just chump. But I do gain 5 going to 34. All right. I have a little life to spare now. They could have like lots of removal though. The thing is, it's hard in white-red to remove Thoughtweft Imbuer. I guess a common way would be like the pacifism that exiles something. I cannot play... I was going to say I can't play Glister Baron, but actually I can because I'm about to play Changeling Wayfinder. No possible way am I going to block this. I think I will go down to 30, thank you. Play your own Rooftop Percher. Yeah, but you still can't block me. Oh, that is such a good one. Love Gravelgill Scoundrel in this deck. So first I play the Changeling Wayfinder. Tap, tap, and tap. I'm going to get a blue for sure, right? Changeling Wayfinder. I'm going to get a blue. I will take that action, thank you. Yeah, that would let me play Glister Baron, and I can already play, I think, basically everything else. Taster of Wares, Kiril. Yep. Okay, I'll get a blue. I will play it. Next, I will attack. Okay, so I could attack with Rooftop Percher as a 7/7 in the air, and they can't do anything about it. I could also attack with Prideful Feastling as a 6/7. And they could triple block, I guess. They're not going to. I think, let's just say, you kind of have to do something about my Prideful Feastling. The thing is, their Encumbered Reejerey is going to get busy on my life total. But I like the idea of just getting their life as low as possible. Well, you know, if I can gain a bunch of life here, then play Gravelgill Scoundrel. Rooftop Percher blocks the Marrow Sky Swimmer. Nah, I just need to push as much damage as possible. That's all that it is. I just need to be pushing as much damage as humanly possible because I'm about to play an unblockable creature, which attacks for 5 every turn. Unless they can kill Thoughtweft Imbuer, which they have not shown any evidence of so far. So you get in for a bunch of damage here, it's true. I do wonder if I just double block. I kind of want to just double block here. They probably have like Tweeze or something. I could technically quadruple block. I don't really want to take 10 every turn. But the thing is, if I get to attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel, I can tap the Wonderbrine Preacher and gain life. Do I just block with 4 creatures? Then they would need 2 removal spells. Okay, so here's what it comes down to. If I quadruple block, they would need 2 removal spells in their hand right now. No, because they could have Riverguard's Reflexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would get them a free creature out of the deal. The other option is just attack with Prideful Feastling next turn and gain my life back. No, I kind of want to just be putting them on like a 3-turn clock with Gravelgill Scoundrel. They don't have Tweeze, right? If they have... Okay, here's what it comes down to. Yes. If they have Tweeze or Seer, I want them to spend it on one of these much less relevant creatures rather than spending it on Gravelgill Scoundrel. That's what it comes down to for me. Okay, that worked out for me, I think. They did get a Kifkin off the board, but it doesn't matter because this guy's attacking for 4 every turn. So next, in with the Scoundrel, if they'll allow it. Tap down Thoughtweft Imbuer because no way is that guy blocking, right? I guess there is destroy target, what is it, 5 damage to a tapped creature, so I'd better actually not ever have Thoughtweft Imbuer tapped. 5 damage to a tapped creature means never tap Thoughtweft Imbuer and end. The card that has to survive is Thoughtweft Imbuer. If Thoughtweft Imbuer dies, I think I'm in trouble. Glister Baron would be really good here, by the way. All right, they're going to try to deal 27 damage to me in 2 turns or draw a removal spell. I would love Disruptor of Currents. Now, does Rooftop Percher get into combat here? It does, right? Should I just block the Marrow Sky Swimmer? Probably. Yeah? Probably. I don't know what they have. Maybe I block Wanderbrine Preacher, actually, because it changes the clock. I think let's try that. Just a simple block. It changes, yeah. I don't know. They have something. I don't know what it is. Reaping Willow. Oh, one of my most hated cards. But look at this, Kirill. So I play Kirill. Attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel. Copy the trigger, making it 7 power. Yeah, and then they have to draw something. Yep. Next, in with the Scoundrel. Okay, so that goes on the stack. I want to make sure. Done. Tap Kirill. Copy the Thought-Left Imbuer trigger. I'm so glad I'm playing Kirill. This is so funny. Tap the probably Wayfinder. Maybe I'm going to want to chump with Wayfinder. No, let's keep Percher untapped. Yeah. So tap with the Wayfinder, tap with Thought-Left Imbuer. Copy the trigger. This deck is so good. This deck is so good. I don't know if I'm going to get there this game, but this deck is so good. And then Resolve. In for 7. And then I tap another creature I control, namely Kirill. And you're unblockable. This deck is awesome. All right. And it's on you. You're going to gain 3. You're going to bring back a Wanderbrine Preacher, but you're not going to be able to tap it, I don't think. I'll go ahead and just play a land and end. They have to draw something. If they drew Tweeze, they probably win. Otherwise, they probably lose. Tweeze or Seer or Pacifism. Yeah, so Reaping Willow brings something back. You gain 3, going to 6. I guess if they can kill any Kithkin, Cinder Strike would have done it too. I'm sure they have a million answers in their deck. The question is only, out of the 27 cards, did their deck deliver exactly what they needed? Maybe like a, let's see, Rooftop Percher will put them to 5, and then Reaping Willow puts them to 8. Just barely out of reach. Kin Binding. I don't think that does it. I think you're exactly 1 short, because now Reaping Willow goes to 4. Oh no, you're too. Oh no, you're kidding me. Wow. Kin Binding off the top. Going to 8 HP. Oh no. Are you serious? That's unreal. And because Marrow Sky Swimmer has flying, so this is 10, 14, 18. This is more than a lethal attack against me as well. Are you kidding me? Just ripping Kin Binding off the top? That's how this is going to end? 9, 13, 16. But I lose... Are you serious? I lose a Kithkin? Wow, ripping Kin Binding off the top at 3 HP. I don't know, maybe I could have played a little bit more aggressively. They needed exactly Reaping Willow into Kin Binding. That is so unreal. They needed the lifelink creature that has 3 power into Kin Binding to get them exactly over the top. And they needed to have that Vigilance creature in the air. And they had no card selection. They just purely ripped Kin Binding right off the top. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Just sitting on top of their deck. Kin Binding, and it was 1 damage more than they needed. I mean, I had to sacrifice I had to sacrifice a creature in response to I gotta mulligan this. Wow. I really thought our deck was gonna get there. I had to sacrifice a creature because Kin Binding was so much damage. Wow. I don't think I can keep this, can I? I'm really going to 5. I'm kind of speechless. I actually really thought I might get there with this deck. Maybe I keep Meander's Guide with this start over Thought-Left Imbuer? Wow. That is so sad. I really thought I might get there. The first two games were smooth as butter. That game, I was putting so much pressure on. I had them dead within a turn. Okay, they could have just top decked like a Cinder Strike and it would have been like less dramatic, I guess. I need to be hitting my land drop, so I think I better take this Changeling Wayfinder. Second time I've played Eclipse Marrow and not hit a land, by the way. Deep Channel Duelist, cracking in for 3 first strike. Wow. That was unreal. Just pulling a Kin Binding off the top, and it's exactly enough. You don't see that every day, do you? All right. Well, gotta get my head in this game. All right, take another 3. This is definitely my last buy-in. Lorwyn, my Lorwyn sealed runs have been all like this. I don't know what is doing it to me, but every single time I play Lorwyn sealed, it is just bad beat after bad beat after bad beat after bad beat, like over and over and over again. Pretty crushing. But we're representing a lot of damage now. TNFL Rhyme Speaker has a way of completely taking over games. So, you know, if they go like temporal cleansing into a bunch of stuff, there is a lot that can happen to me. Interesting. Probably I'll just block NFL Rhyme Speaker. I mean, they're going to River Guard's reflexes, presumably. Do I just chump block the Feisty Spikeling? No, I think I can go to 7. Look, like, I'm putting on so much pressure here. Plus, I'm about to play a Disruptor of Currents. I don't think I have to play Super Scared. Unfortunately, I am down a lot of material. A lot of material. Now I'm down on tempo, down on life, down on the board, down on mana, and down on material. So that's a bit of an issue for me. Probably go with Thoughtweft Imbuer. No, I think I want to go Klatchen Festival. Have a really big swing with the Eclipsed Marrow. And then I can do some blocks and then play a Disruptor of Currents. I do not want to block Rooftop Percher, unfortunately. I'm just dead, right? Like, I can bounce something, but I don't want to bounce Rooftop Percher. Because then they get another draw off of the Rhyme Speaker. Is there a way for me to put so much power on the board that they have to do something about it? Like Thoughtweft Imbuer plus... This is so bad. I mean, I think basically I'm in a position... Wow, I can't even attack and play Disruptor of Currents. I could line up blocks and then play Disruptor, I guess. That's kind of my remaining option. The problem is I would really want to play Disruptor. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to play Klatchen Festival. Yeah, I was probably supposed to play Klatchen Festival, do some chump blocking. Maybe they'll just attack with Rooftop Percher. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Now, however, you get to... I mean, you could counter me, but also you get to recast it and draw a card, which is a huge issue for me. However, now I'm kind of taking over the tempo a little bit. I do need to draw an answer to this Rooftop Percher, right? Okay, so if I could attack with Prideful Feastling, that's a way to get out of this, right? That's a huge lifelinker. So let's play this. Buff our Disruptor of Currents to be a 7/7 and attack. And now it's a 10/10. So my way out of this is make a colossal lifelinking Prideful Feastling. That's the way out of this. Let's see if they can kill Prideful Feastling or just somehow buff their Rooftop Percher. If I can draw like Blossom Bind or something and get an attack in with Prideful... Okay, yeah, you could just play an A+ bomb. Yep. Yeah, okay, so now if I can find Blossom Bind, I'm still in it, I think. Shore Lurker buys me a turn, but I have to play it right now. And you cannot stun it, but it unfortunately has to chump block. All right, it is what it is. Put this on the Disruptor and attack. I would feel very, you know, I mean, they have a great card quality for sure, but I would feel not so uncomfortable in this matchup if I hadn't had to mulligan to 5 on the play. Like, look, if I had been able to just kind of establish a board presence with enough cards to back it up and not had to like scrap for my lands, maybe I should have kept that first hand, but it did not feel keepable. I'll go back and look, but it did not feel keepable as I recall. All right, does Shore Lurker resolve? I mean, it has to. You don't have counter mana. If my last opponent had just drawn a Cinder Strike or something, it wouldn't have felt like a bad beat. But finding Kin Binding there is just kind of like, okay, good night. Good night. Harmonize Crescendo. Draw how much? 3? 2? 2. But draw 3 because of the Rhyme Speaker. Okay, if they have a removal spell in those 8 cards or 7 cards, then it's GG. If I do get to start attacking with Prideful Feastling, it's very much still a game. Very much still a game. If I do get that attack in. I definitely should have taken a mental break between the last game and this one. I was just stunned. Okay, digging. I like it. It'll be a miracle if we somehow get to attack with this Prideful Feastling and stabilize. I would be absolutely stunned. Okay, chump block. There's no trample trick here that I'm aware of in blue and white. Let's see if they have a removal for Prideful Feastling, then I have to draw another flyer. I guess I do have a Rooftop Percher. That might be my best draw here. No, my best draw would be Blossom Bind, so that I can play Clatchin Festival and Blossom Bind. That's probably my best draw. Should I have not played the Taster of Wares? No, I think it's all fine. Like, my mana has been really good this draft, or this event. Oh. In binding. That's so funny. That is so funny. Meander's Guide. Okay, I'm still not seeing removal for Prideful Feastling, which makes me feel good. But they are keeping stuff untapped. Keeping mana untapped. Gravelgill Scoundrel, that's a lethal attacker, isn't it? Almost, not quite, but almost. Play a Clatchin Festival. Three Kithkins. Let's see. Do I get the Prideful Feastling attack? They're definitely getting my hopes up here, but I'm immune to getting my hopes up after the amount of Magic that I've played in my life. Blocking? Are you going to bounce it? Okay. We just gained 12 HP, and now we get to play a Gravelgill Scoundrel. It's not over, folks. It is not over. Gravelgill Scoundrel would be almost a lethal attacker. Wait, it is a lethal attacker. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is plus 10. It's a lethal attacker. That is a lethal attacker. And they did not have removal for an attacker as of last turn. They could also have top decked Kin Binding, but I'm not even afraid of Kin Binding. What I'm afraid of here is destroy target attacking creature. Or 4 damage to a tapped creature. No, Glister Baron would make that not work. Yeah. Gravelgill Scoundrel is a lethal attacker. So they can bring back, they cannot bring back Lockmare. Oh no, mana value 3 or less. They can bring back Lockmare. Oh no. And stun my Gravelgill Scoundrel. That's really annoying. But okay, Prideful Feastling is still going to do a lot of work. So it's not lethal, is it? They tap that, bring back Lockmare, stun my Gravelgill Scoundrel. Got it. I see how it goes. I take 9. Bring back Lockmare. Hold on. Have they played a land this turn? Currently, they are missing a land to lock down my Gravelgill Scoundrel. Did they misplay? They're supposed to have an extra land to lock down Gravelgill Scoundrel. They might have destroy target attacking creature then. Let's just make sure. +4 is a 5, +6. Yeah, I'm just going for it. I'm just going to go for it. Right? 1 + 4 is 5. +6 is 11. If I get this wrong, I lose. But I'm not supposed to just attack with Prideful Feastling. No way. Yeah. Just to be sure, I'm going to give it an extra +1. What do they have? They have something. They've got something. All right, let's try it. In with this guy. Gets +7. Tap a creature. Do you have it? We got there on the multi-5. Holy smokes, my deck pulled it out. Wow. What a tense run. On the multi-5. And the opponent, so they should have, and I don't blame them for not seeing this line, it got so complicated. They should have brought back, with the Meander's Guide, I believe it's mana value 3 or less, so they can bring back Lockmare. Yeah, it is, because they did that. Instead of spending all that mana on Hovel Hurler and whatever, lock down, and I think you even could have spent the mana on Hovel Hurler, but then they did something else with their mana. You need to use the 3 mana to lock down my Gravelgill Scoundrel. The game is still not yours, because then I still get to attack with Prideful Feastling, and I'm gaining 15 life or something. And you might not win in the long run, but that would have given them more turns to figure it out. Okay, I'm going to take a nice long mental break. At least we're 3-2, and the loss that we had was to a kin binding, but you know, a kin binding ripped off the top. But I will also say I shouldn't feel too salty about that loss, because Cinder Strike would have done it, Seer would have done it, Tweeze would have done it, you know, Pacifism would have done it, Liminal Hold would have done it. Like, they could have had so many different outs in their deck, and that was just the most dramatic of them. So good for them, good on that opponent. This multi-5 was a little bit rough, but we should be encouraged that our deck came back from the multi-5. And look, that Glister Baron paid off in spades. I'm really happy with the Glister Baron inclusion. I think I found a really nice line in this pool. If you are enjoying learning how to build sealed right along with me and seeing these rewards and the stinging moments as well, do go ahead and click subscribe. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to come back for match number 5. All right. Not the most convincing hand I've ever seen, but with a turn 1 Wanderbrine Trapper and my 2 main colors, I don't think I mulligan. Although, thinking about it a different way, Taster of Wares almost makes this a 6-card hand. I have 1, 2, 3 ways of finding black mana. So it's very possible that I should just throw this back. Turn 1 Wanderbrine Trapper is good and all, but if I don't have a creature to follow it up with, it's not that great. I think I just mulligan. I don't know. Is that bonkers? It's kind of like when you have a 2-drop in both of your colors you keep. But yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, I think this is a better hand. Unfortunately, okay, I'm just gonna put back Taster. And And that means that I can very confidently spend this Evolving Wilds fetching a island. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that immediately. Get an island. Okay, my opponent's on double white. When they're on double black, as I learned the hard way, it might just mean that they have the Blossom Bind guy, the Bitter Blossom. That more likely meant that they were mana screwed, but it seems I just found their third color anyways, which is fine. I guess that's lovely, you know. Everyone should get to play Magic. It's too bad when people get mana screwed, right? I'm definitely not rooting for my opponent to get mana screwed. All right, in with a Preacher, gain 2, you take 2. Unfortunately, that's about all I can do. A lot of 4-drops in my hand. I don't think that's an issue with my curve. It's just a lot of 4-drops in my hand. Shore Lurker is pretty nice against that guy. They elected not to untap my Wanderbrine Preacher. It's a shame. Yeah, I'll probably just go for the Shore Lurker here. I mean, Pestered Wellguard is okay, but doesn't line up great against Glamormite. Looks like we're in the blue-white mirror match. I wonder what they have. Could be a counter spell. Well, given that I have a Rooftop Percher to follow this up with, so I think I attack and then I'll play Shore Lurker because, yeah, if I draw land, I can just play Rooftop Percher anyways. So let's attack. Could be Disruptor of Currents. Could be another Glamormite. I don't think there's... It could be the 2/2 Flash. I don't think there's much else that I need to be too worried about. Oh, Riverguard's Reflexes or something? No, you could untap it if it was Riverguard's Reflexes. Glamour Gifter. Okay, I think that's okay because I'm about to play a big flyer. So down comes Shore Lurker. I do get to Surveil, find a land, hopefully. Kirill. You're a little interesting. Thought-Wift Imbuer is not very good right now. And I don't think I have a lot... Well, I could play... I could keep tapping the Pestered Wellguard to double triggers. Do I want Kirill? Tap the Pestered Wellguard to double a bunch of triggers? No, I don't... I think that's too fancy. Let's not get silly with it. I just want to land to play a Rooftop Percher so that if they're able to remove my Shore Lurker, I can still fight in the air. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. Rooftop Percher, I thought it would be a little bit worse in sealed because the main... Oh, no. All right, that's the end of the line. I cannot imagine that we can win this. Well, it was fun while it lasted. I guess my only hope is counterplay. When I had a kin binding, I never had situations like this where my opponent just kind of petered out and then my kin binding takes over. So my only hope is do enough chump blocking and crash through in the air, probably. They're gonna... Yeah, there's just no option here. I really needed that opponent to opponents ago not to draw their kin binding. Facing a second kin binding? Yeah, I mean, look, my deck's really scrappy. Okay. Well, that can get Blossom binded, but I don't have an answer for kin binding. You know, I had a deck with Heir doing kin binding. This kind of thing never happened for me, so maybe I didn't build that deck quite right. Maybe I was supposed to. Look, I think I'm pretty proud of how we built this pool. I'm pretty proud of how I piloted it. Finding a win in that last game with a Malta 5, you know, that was not super easy. 3-2, given how things are going after our first 2 games, it is a little disappointing. But I won the last game absolutely by the skin of my teeth. And the last 2 games were really like 50-50. 2 games ago, the opponent, actually, I was like probably very favored. I don't know how many answers were in their deck, but I imagine I was very favored to win before they drew their kin binding. And then this game, I would have felt pretty good except kin binding and Erdu. And last game, you know, after the Malta 5 felt very bad, right? And by all rights, they should have just taken the Lockmare to their bin, locked down my Gravelgill Scoundrel. I think we've seen enough here. I don't think I need to belabor this point that much more. Yeah, so, but with this pool, I actually feel very good about ignoring the green. Remember, we had that Vibrance. I think I struck the mana and build just about right. And after the first 2 games, I was very pleasantly surprised by how powerful the deck was. But remember, we just don't have like Erdu and Kin Binding. We got beat by a Kin Binding, and then we got beat by a Kin Binding. Those were our 2 losses, Kin Binding and Kin Binding. That Erdu didn't even matter for us. I was holding a Blossom Bind. But yeah, it turns out Kin Binding is enough to do it. Disruptive Wares, Disruptive Words plus Taster Wares are really good cards, but they don't just completely take over the game. They need like support. They need other cards to be good to finish the game for you. And I mean, we totally could have got there, except, and I thought the Sawweft Imbuer build with like all the changelings was a nice creative way to do it. Curel turned out to be great. Gravelgill Scoundrel, really nice for pushing lethal. But yeah, I mean, clearly the stars just didn't line up for us, and that's how it goes. So this is absolutely my last buy-in. Frankly, I never want to play Lorwynsealed again. This format has been like very, very rough for me. In every other sealed format, I feel like I have way more opportunity for kind of finding ways of having an edge, but somehow in this format, I just never really got the handle on it. A lot of 2/2s and 3/2s, making back some of my gems. I feel like I did find something like much better than average here, where I ignored the Wildvine Pummeler, Selfless Safe Ride Cavalry, Bristlebane Outrider, and Vibrance, and just built like a blue-white tempo deck with a lot of 2-drops, and found a lane to include the Thoughtweft Imbuers and some other powerful synergies. And so I'm pretty proud of that, and I think I can just like put a bookmark here, be pleased with it, and never play Sealed Lorwyn again. So if you want to see me draft Lorwyn, which is a way better format, then go ahead and click subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone, and don't be afraid to splash.